So if it's not, then we won't use it. I mean, we'll probably put it up anyways. But I mean, if you don't want it, we don't have to do it. Rabbi Lebanoni requested that we do it for every shear.
Okay.
Where
is he?
He's not here.
Not here?
He's not here.
Oh. It's cold?
No.
Is there ice? Ice.
We don't have ice.
What?
Put the air conditioning on. I can put it in the fridge and take it out in an hour if you want.
Gurary? Is that how you pronounce it?
Gurary.
If you wouldn't mind also but I know it's tough.
I don't like these things.
What's that?
I don't like them
What's the topic of your show?
Would you oppose to me taking some pictures? Sorry?
It's okay.
It's fine.
No, you guys are going to take pictures. What's the topic of the share going to be? You don't know?
Questions in Halacha.
Okay, fine.
It has to be in front of me or to the side?
We'd like to welcome Gurary. We'd like to welcome Rabbi Gurary, a very good friend, a dear friend of the yeshiva, and one of the original group of shluchim that was sent by the Rebbe to Eretz Israel in Tafshin Lamed Zayin, to make a deal with Tachtonim, to transform Eretz Israel to realize the Chachma Bina B'das, and he's always been very helpful to the yeshiva and a very good friend of mine and Rav Kapni's. He's the Rav of Chulon, of the city of Chulon, a very big, large city in Israel with 100,000 people. 200,000 people in the city of Chulon. And without any further ado, as Rav Gurary, he's going to talk about Halacha, and there'll be questions and answers. Good.
Okay. First of all, Shalom Aleichem to everybody. I understand you don't all live here. You live in the States, where you live around the world. Okay. What? USA. England. Okay. As a rabbi in the city, I have, I would say, daily people asking questions, halachic questions, and I'll take a few questions, and I'm going to address it to you as a bed din here. You know what a bed din is? A court, a Jewish court, and you have to answer on the questions that I was asked. And we'll see how we can work it out. There was this guy that was an old man, and middle of the night, he felt very bad. He felt that he has no breath. He felt that he's fainting. He felt that he's dying. And he ran out of bed, with all his might, ran downstairs to his neighbor. He lived in an apartment building. And he knocks on the door from his neighbor. His name is Yankel. He knocks on the door and says, Yankel, do me a favor. Not Yankel, the new record. You know, Yankel, save my life. Take me straight to the hospital. I feel that I'm dying. I have no breath. And Yankel puts on his clothes, runs down with him to the parking lot, and they drove off to the hospital. By the way, this Yankel was a taxi driver, and they flew fast to the hospital, and this neighbor, let's call him Yitzchak, the old man. After several days that he was in the hospital, he came back to himself, and he felt better, and he was released from the hospital. First thing that he did when he walked into the building, he knocks on the door on Yankel, and he hugs him, and he kisses him, and says to him, "Thank you very much. You saved my life. If not you, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you, thank you." By the way, Yankel and Yitzchak, the old man Yitzchak and the neighbor Yankel, they were very good friends. Not only good friends, their wives were friends, and the children played together, and their grandchildren played together for years. And after he says to him, "Thank you, thank you," he says, so Yankel says to Yitzchak, he says to him, "Yitzchak, listen, you know that I'm a taxi driver, and you know that from the house to the hospital, it's $50. Please pay me." So Yitzchak says to him, "You're out of your mind? Pay you? You did a mitzvah. You saved my life." He says, "Yes, you saved my life. I saved your life. I'm very happy. But this is my business. Please pay me. I want the $50. And not only that, there's an extra fare, a night fare. So I would like to have the rest." And he says to him, "No. I mean, you're not normal. You saved my life, and this is what you want money from me. We're friends, and I didn't ask you as a taxi driver. I asked you as a friend." And they got into an argument. They came to ask who was right. And I'm asking you, Talmidei Chachamim, who was right? What?
Still cheaper than an ambulance.
They're both right.
It can be both right. Or he's right, has to pay, or he doesn't have to pay.
In my opinion, when he answered, he didn't say, he didn't like call up the taxi company or say like how much is it. He didn't imply that he wanted to pay.
Right.
But I think that if he drove them into business, he has to pay.
Taxi driver's right to the
I think.
But it's the opposite. He came down to him not as a taxi driver. He came down to him as a friend. He didn't call up a taxi. He knocked on his door, a friend.
Well, they were wrong. And a friend saying, "Can you pay for the gas?"
Yeah.
If Yankel wanted to pay, he should have asked Yitzhak.
It was not a time to ask. The guy's dying. You're going to ask him to pay me. I mean,
I think otherwise it's assumed.
No. Yeah.
I think you should. Yeah. Pay, but it's just very childish, stingy. Yeah, but I would say.
What do you say?
He has to pay him. He knows he's a taxi driver, whatever.
Yeah, but he didn't go to a taxi driver. They're friends. If someone, there's a halacha, if you find somebody there was an accident, and someone got hit, and he's laying on the floor, there's a mitzvah to Oziv Taziv. You have to help him. You got to pick him up and bring him to the hospital. So what's the difference?
I think that the reason why I think you have to pay.
You should or shouldn't?
Should not.
Should not. Why?
When he came out to the apartment, he woke up Angel. He woke up labor.
You woke him up.
He woke him up, so he wasn't working anymore.
Oh, that's what he told him. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you. He told him you weren't working anyway. If you'd be working, see, let's say at this time you'd be taking somebody from one place to another place, it would cost you so much and so. You would earn so much and so. You weren't working anyway. So what? So that's not nice.
I would say he doesn't have to pay because he's not using him in a professional capacity. Why? Because if you're using him in a professional capacity, you call an ambulance. That's what they do for a living. Why would he go to him for a friend?
Okay.
The old man Yitzhak, 60, over his life.
What?
60, he saved his life. So pay 60 for your life. You should have paid him 2,000 to deserve
You
it.
could pay him $1 million, but that's not the question. The question is if he's al pi halacha, he has to pay or not. What are you sleeping? No?
It's a problem.
Sure, it's a problem. That's a
No, it comes down to whether or not the guy feels that saving a person's life or money is more important. I mean, the guy did him like, as I said, a great mitzvah. He saved the guy's life, and now he's bringing money into it. Oh, he's got to look at the side of, does he need the money for Parnassa? Does he feel he needs this?
But it was the middle of the night. He wouldn't it was sleeping.
Then it's not like he misses out otherwise. So
He wasn't missing anything.
He shouldn't get
Okay.
What day of the week was it on?
What day of the week was Wednesday night?
So what's my time?
What? No.
What's the answer?
What's his status on Gurary?
Okay. Let me tell you what the answer is. There is a case in Shulchan Aruch, Choshen Mishpat. There was somebody that was in jail, a Jew. He was in jail. He was put in jail for, I don't know which reason, he was put in jail. He was put in a pit, like in the time of Yosef HaTzadik was in a pit. It's not a jail like a built building. And he was in the pit for a certain time. And one night, he climbed up and he ran. He ran out of the pit, started to run. Where did he run? He ran to the border of the country. Why? He wanted to get over to a different country, go over the border, and if he's over the border, then the police can't arrest him. Okay? Because of different laws, and he can't arrest him. He knew that in a short time, the guards are going to wake up, and they're going to start running after him. And he ran, and he came to the border. But the border was not a border of land. There was a channel, water, and he had to get over to the other side of the channel to run away. He came to the channel, like if you were ever in Italy, in Venice, there are gondolas. You ever see the gondolas? The taxis on the water. He saw a lot of the taxi gondolas. He saw a lot of gondolas. He saw a lot of drivers who were all sleeping. It was the middle of the night. He went to one to another, wanted to see if he finds a Jew, because if it's not a Jew, maybe he's a goy, and he will give him over to the police. Till he found a Jew, he wakes him up and says, "Do me a favor, take me over fast to the second side of the border." And he took him over to the border. He took him over to the second side. After he took him over, he says to him, "Pay me." He says, "What do you mean?" It's Pidyon Shvuin. There's a mitzvah of Pidyon Shvuin to take somebody out of capture. And he did it by mitzvah. And he says, "Yeah, mitzvah, but I want money." But he says, "It was the middle of the night. You didn't have a job anyway. Nobody was taking you." So he says, I don't care. Not only that, but I want you to pay me the extra. A night fare." And the halacha is that he has to pay him, because that's his job. If his job is a taxi, same thing by us, and same in our case, if his job is a taxi, true, he's a friend, and true, their wives are friends, and the children are friends, and the grandchildren are friends, but if that's his business, that's his job, he has to pay him. That is the halacha. And I want to tell you something that happened with me in the yeshiva in New York. I lived in Crown Heights. You know where Crown Heights is? Okay. I lived in Crown Heights, and in those years, when I was in the yeshiva, was in Ocean Parkway in Flatbush. And there were riots of the neighborhoods, about the Schwarzes, the riots. And our parents didn't let us go with trains or with buses. And we used to take the cars, my parents' cars, we used to drive to the yeshiva. There's full of cars of the Bachrim coming to the yeshiva with cars, and there was no parking place. In front of the yeshiva there was a parking place, but it said over there, no parking. But we didn't have any other parking place, so we used to park there. And in the morning we used to get a ticket. Ticket. We would make a book out of the tickets. And one day they called us to the court. To the whole yeshiva together, we went to court. We went to court and we're sitting over there in court. And in front of us, there was a court case. You know, if you were ever in court, you saw how it works over there. There's a court case with somebody and you sit in the back and wait, and you could hear the court case from the other people. And then and we're listening to this court case. It was this Jew, I'm going to call him again, Yitzchak, taxi driver. He picked up a elderly woman, he picked her up from JFK to Queens. He brought her to her house, and she's an elderly person, so he wanted to help her. So he opened up the trunk, he took out the luggages, and he helped her. The trunk was open, and he took her luggages and brought it into the house. He comes back, the ticket. What's the matter? He parked in front of a hydrant. You know what a hydrant is? In front of a hydrant. And a hydrant for a taxi driver, it's it's not so. You get a good ticket for that. And he came to court, this Jew, and he's speaking to the judge, and the judge was also Jewish. And I can't forget his name, was years ago. His name was Judge Cohen. Judge Cohen. And I know that's why I know that he's Jewish. And he says, and he was crying, to the driver, and says to the judge, it says, Judge Cohen, I did a mitzvah. I helped this woman. I did a mitzvah, and he's crying about it. Mitzvah. The judge heard him out. Then the judge says like this, Mr. Whatever it is, Yitzchak, did a mitzvah. Upstairs in Gan Eden, you'll be sitting with the tzaddikim. Here, you're going to pay. And he made him pay. That's one case. We'll go on to another case.
Just ask a question.
Yeah.
So anytime, like, you're professional, let's say I'm a paramedic walking down the street, the guy needs my help, the guy that passes out.
No, if you ordered somebody to paint your house, okay? You want to paint your house. He's a good friend of yours. And he paints your house, but he's a painter. That's his job. You can't tell him later, I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay you because you were friends. That's his job. You understand? It's not that someone comes over to you. This is somebody that you went over to him and you told him, do me a favor and do this for me. And that's his job. So you got to pay him. If you got a flat tire, and you're asking somebody to help you to fix the flat, so you don't have to pay him.
This case is different because it's pikuach nefesh.
It's pikuach nefesh, and there's a mitzvah to help. Everything's true. But if it's his business, I have to pay him. If I go, I'm driving, and I stop my car. Something went wrong with the engine, and I see a AAA passing by, and I stop him to help to fix the car. He can't say you have to, Halacha, you have to help me. But it's his job. If you stop somebody else, you don't have to pay him. But if you stop somebody, if that's his job, you got to pay him. Clear?
So the court never doesn't apply to.
If a person wants to help somebody without money, very good. Someone wants to do a mitzvah, it's very good.
But if the person's dying, then you have the obligation.
I have the obligation. It's true, I have the obligation. But every doctor that works in a hospital has the obligation to help people. But that's his job. He gets paid for that. It's true. If I called him, I don't know, if you call him specially that he should come over and help out, you have to pay him. That's his time. If he doesn't want to take money, he wants to do the mitzvah, it's okay. But I'm talking about if that's his business, he gets paid. Yeah.
The self, like a ski of the seas, and you've got like in the country, and they tell you that you have to pay them?
No. If he did, you didn't call him. If he came from on his own will, there's no problem. You have to pay him. The guy's helping you. Even if I meet a doctor in the street and I ask him, how to score something on my I also don't have to pay him. But if I call him up and I tell him to come over, and he's doing something, it costs him money, so I have to pay him. This guy went from the house to the hospital. He drove. Gasoline cost him, and it's his car. He uses it out. He has to pay. If he wasn't a taxi driver, he doesn't have to pay.
You can't even charge late.
No, you can't charge. You can't charge. You can't. You should have told him before. It will cost so much, and that's all.
If the taxi driver's intentions at the time were like, okay, I'm going to help this guy out, afterwards he makes a decision, hey, look, I'm a taxi.
That's his problem.
But
That's his problem. It's not nice. It's not.
But at the time.
A Jew has to help another Jew. There's no question about it. But again, if that's his job, you have to pay. If he asks for money, he has to pay.
But at the time, though,
I don't know what
his job.
I don't know what it does. You can never know.
Is it not nice? In our Jewish world, everybody wants all the time mitzvahs and mitzvahs and mitzvahs. When you start with Jews, at the end you're no, there's always something. I'm sorry to be so mean.
No, it's okay. I'm a rabbi, okay, for 26 years. Everybody that comes over, the people are not religious. Oh, rabbi, you got to do a mitzvah. Yeah, a whole day. You got to telephone. Oh, you got to do a mitzvah. You got to do a mitzvah. Nobody thinks that a rabbi also has to work. It's a job. You have to do a mitzvah, and a rabbi has to say yes. I'm doing mitzvahs. Okay. A lot of mitzvahs. Very lot of mitzvahs. Let's go to another case. There was this guy, let's call him again, Yankel. He was looking for a job. And he was looking for a job, and he went from one factory to another factory, and another factory, and another factory. And he was looking, to be employed. He came to one factory. The boss of the factory, it's a private factory. It's not a government. And he tells the boss, I'm so-and-so, my name is Yankel, and I want to work here. And he interviewed him. And the boss loved him. I mean, he was I would say he was astonished from his knowledge and astonished from his work and from where he worked before. He loved him. He got in love with him. And he says to him, listen, you're hired. But I want to tell you something. I have 450 employees here in this factory. I pay them 5,000 shekel every month. In Israel they pay every month, not every week. 5,000 shekel. I like you. I want to give you an extra, I would call it a bonus. I'm going to pay you 5,500 shekel. Another 500 shekel every week. Every month. And you should come with a taxi. You should take a taxi and come to work. He gave a hand, started to work. He's working a year, he's working 2 years, but what? Right after he started to work, he decided, why do I have to take a taxi which costs 500 shekel, which is a lot in Israel? I'll walk. And I'll gain another 500 shekel a month. It's not far. He came in time to work. He was not tired after he walked. And then, after a certain amount of years, this guy became a Baal Tshuva, and he came over to me and says to me, Rabbi, was I a Ganav? The boss gave me 500 shekel to take a taxi, and I walked. Do I have to give him back the money, or don't I have to give back the money? No.
It was a condition when he was hired. It was a condition how he the extra
He told him clear. I'm giving you 500 shekel every month. Take a taxi.
I would say if it came in the same paycheck, that he didn't steal, but if it came separately in 2 different paychecks.
What's the difference?
Because my father's a consultant, and they will give you a special allocation for meals and things. Then you would fill out whether you.
He didn't ask him to fill. No, he didn't ask him to fill out anything and tell him nothing. Gave him cash, no checks, no nothing. Cash, 5,500.
Is there a Yush binding?
What?
Yush binding?
Yush? Why is Yush? Not Yush. He didn't lose. The Balabas didn't lose anything. That's not called Yush. Yush means if you lost something.
Yeah, because the money can go back to you.
What?
The money can go back to you.
If someone stole from my pocket $5,000 and I don't remember, and the guy comes over to me and says to me,
That's not stealing, so then you're just saying that's not stealing.
no, I'm asking, if someone stole from my pocket $5,000, yeah, Al Pi Halacha, he has to bring it back. If not, he's able, let's signiv.
Maybe you should give me the taxi driver.
What? Which? Wow. Yeah.
The person keeps someone in prison, they treat someone like they're not like they give it to him open arms, you know, it's like he's trying to give it to you. He's not going to care if you get it to
You want to say that he's giving him, he likes him, so he's giving him. He told him, I'm giving you for a taxi. But he really, because he likes him, that's why he gave him the money.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
I would say, he said, regardless if he's friend or not, if he made a condition, he has to give him back the money.
Yeah, but he told him clear, I like you.
So he asked him to take a taxi.
And that's why I'm giving you an extra.
Yeah, I would say, you should approach a guy and say, I walk this and that.
The question is, if he has to approach or doesn't have to approach.
Was it 100 shekel left over 1 month? Right?
What are you left over?
Let's say for whatever reason there wasn't work 3 days a month or 4 days a month, or there was Yom Tov, and he didn't go to work and the factory was closed for 4 days a month, and he saved 100 shekel that month anyway. And the boss anyway gives him 5,500 shekel a month. The boss would the boss ask for 100 shekel back?
Depends if he's makpid on everybody. He's not the only person who works there. Another 450 people working there. I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, he doesn't have to give it back. They said, because he said if you collect stuff on something specifically, you can't go and use that snuggle money for the buy a cover. You can't use
It's tzedakah, there's a halacha, ein meshanim, it's tzedakah to tzedakah. You're not allowed to change from one tzedakah to another. A person gets specifically for a tzedakah, that has to go for that tzedakah. Yeah. He didn't say you have to. He didn't say you have to. He says, I like you. It's not these words. I like you. And I'm going to give you an extra 500 shekel because I like you, for a taxi. I don't know what he meant. If I ask him I have a problem, he might ask for the money back. The question is if I have to, yeah.
You should go back to the boss, ask the boss if the boss wants the money back.
If he goes back to the boss can say, I want the money back. The question is if he has to go to the boss. The question is, maybe it's not geneva. Maybe he's not stealing anything. Why should he go to the boss? If Al Pi Halacha it's not stealing, so then he doesn't have to.
But the question isn't whether or not, obviously there's a doubt whether or not the money was specifically for the purpose of the taxi.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So therefore, because there's a doubt, you should the boss ask, was the money specifically for a taxi? And if the boss says, yes, the money was specifically for a taxi, then
he has to give it back. But why should he go to me? Who said he has to go to him?
I don't know, it's between him and
That's why he came to the rabbi. Yeah.
It seems that from what the boss implied when he said, I like you, I'm going to give you an extra 500 shekels to take a taxi. What the boss is saying is, I like you, I don't want you to have to walk in the rain or, whatever. So I'm giving you 500 shekels so for your extra comfort. But if the guy doesn't mind, then, if the boss not losing anything, it's kind of a win-win situation.
That's the question.
Well, two people are just make the contract. Both sides of either party have to know what exactly the contract is. If one side didn't know the contract and one guy thought like this and the other thought like this, then what's the whole lot?
Then you go to rabbi.
So then you ask
That's what? If you wouldn't go to rabbi, I wouldn't have business. Okay, let's get. Yeah.
I think since the boss specifically said this is for taxis and not for transportation.
He didn't say that for transportation. He said, I like you, I want to give you a bonus, and give you a 5 check of a taxi.
He said it's specifically for taxis.
He said it's specific for taxi. Okay.
If you took a taxi and the taxi told us anything of the boss, since I like you so much, I'm going to take you for free every single day. If the taxi told him the same thing that the boss told him, hey, you're a really nice guy, I like you a lot, I'm going to drive you every single morning for free.
Then there's no problem. There's no problem.
But
There's no problem. I wanted to pay him. I took a taxi like he told me. No problem. The guy gave me all the money back.
Unless he called his friend. If he called his friend as a taxi, before he even offered him, he went, oh yeah, sure, I'm heading there every single morning anyways, just hop into the car.
Okay, we'll get into it. Okay, yeah.
If that's the case, he's not giving you a gift of a taxi, he's giving you a gift of money. And then he's telling you what to use it for.
Right. That's the question. If it has to use it, or it doesn't have to use it.
He gives you a free taxi ride and he has to give money back. What is he giving the taxi ride?
Who's giving a free taxi ride? You're talking about what he said? He said the driver doesn't take money. That's something else. Driver doesn't take money. That's already. I got the money for a taxi. I'm going with the taxi. Taxi driver doesn't take money from me. That's why doesn't prove. Okay.
Was the boss saying, he says, I like you, I'm going to give you a bonus, and I want to give you a taxi. When he's saying, I like you, give you a bonus, I'll give you a bonus.
He says, I like you very much. You made a very good impression on me, and I have a very good relationship with you now, and I like you, and I want you to work here, and I see that you're skilled, and I want to give you a bonus. What's the bonus? Let's just take a taxi. I'm paying for the taxi. 500 shekels. Okay, then let's get down to the answer. Now listen to this. The Mishnah in Masechet Ketubot. The Mishnah says that a person that gets married, he is obligated to support his wife. There's no such thing as you get married and you don't support your wife. You can say, "There, I'm a freelancer, I don't have to pay nothing." Oh yeah, remember that. That's why. That's why we write a ketubah. The ketubah, it says a person he obligates himself that he has to pay his wife a ketubah. If chas v'shalom he parts with her, gives her a get, he has to give her so much and so much. You just don't get married without a what? No, ksuba for sure, but not obligation of supporting her. So the Mishnah says, what if this guy is a poor person? What's the minimum? What's the minimum that a person has to give his wife?
Clothes and stuff.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about food now. He has to give her every day 2 seudot. 2 meals. 2 seudot. Shabbos, he has to give her 3. Seudah shlishit. He has to also give her pocket money. Even if he's poor, but he's obligated to give her something. He can't say that I'm marrying her just no sugar. For the rest of his life. Right.
You think she gets remarried?
Right.
You think she gets remarried?
No, she gets remarried to something else. I'm talking not get married. Now, what happened is, he put it down a meal, let's say lunch. He puts on the table a chicken, potatoes, and salad. Now, this lady, she ate. but she left over the potatoes. Why did she leave over the potatoes? Because she was full. She couldn't eat no more. Or he gave her, let's say, 50 shekel to go and buy a supper. And she went, instead of buying the meal in a grocery downstairs, on a supermarket, she went to the shuk, to the market. And she bought, in the market, she bought for cheaper. She's left over with 20 shekel. Or she's left over with food, or she's left over with money. And the Gemara asks, the me, to who does it belong to? It belongs to her, the piece of chicken, the piece of the potatoes that were left over, or the 20 shekel. He gave her a full meal. He gave her, he was obligated, whatever he obligated himself, he paid. He gave her. He gave her 50 shekel, he gave her food, but it was left over. So the Gemara asks Lemi, to who does it go to? It goes to her, it stays by her, or she has to give it back to the husband. So the Gemara says it goes back to the husband. Okay? Wait, 1 second. Goes back to the husband. You take the Shulchan Aruch, the Bet, you know the Shulchan Aruch, there is the Bet Yosef, and there's Ramah. You know, you learned about it? Okay, the Mechaber Ramah. The Mechaber writes what the Mishnah says, that a person is obligated to give his wife every day 2 sudot, Shabbos 3 sudot, pocket money, and the Ramah adds what it says in the Gemara, that the Hanaisa, what's left over, goes to who? Goes to the Baal, goes to the husband. And that's the Halacha. There's a commentator on the Shulchan Aruch. It's not Shulchan Aruch, on the Shulchan Aruch. He lived in Prague. He wrote a sefer, it's called Tshuva Me'ahava. He was in the time of the Nodab Yehuda. And there's a commentary in the bottom, the Pischei Tshuva brings him, and he argues. And he says, why should the husband get it? Why? He gave it to the wife. If she's left over, she should take it for himself. Why should he give it back to the husband? Why should the potatoes left over go to the husband? Why should the money go to the husband? So he says like this. Listen to this. He says like this. If the woman was full, he gave her, and she was full. She ate maximum. She went, what did she do? She, instead of buying the grocery, she walked to the market, to buy in the market. She made an effort. It's not easy. If the grocery is downstairs and it costs 50 shekel, and she walked for half an hour and schlepping the groceries or whatever, fruit, vegetables, whatever she bought, schlepp it to the house, she made an effort. If she made an effort, it belongs to her. If she didn't make an effort, it belongs to him. If she left over food, so that means she gave away from her own. If that means she could have ate more and she didn't eat more. So then it belongs to her. But if she's full, she couldn't eat no more, then it belongs to him. That means it depends if the person made an effort or didn't make an effort. He gave from himself or didn't give away from himself anything. So one of the big Achronim, the Gonim, his name is the Marsham. So he says, in this case we're speaking about, he says like this: if this guy went to work every day, stood in a bus stop, and he was hitching, stood in the street and he was hitching, in the rain, in the sun, in the thunders, in the I don't know, whatever it was very cold, freezing. So he gave away from himself. He just didn't go. If he had somebody, a neighbor, and took him every day to work, who was going the same way, so then he has to give back the money to the boss. But if he did an effort, to get the money, to save the money, the 500 shekel, then it belongs to him. What? Paskin is Achron. Bischa Tshuva brings the Tshuva Ma'ava. Tshuva Ma'ava was in the Beit Din from the Lady Yehuda, and he writes over there. He's mechalik. He says, when does the Gemara say that it goes to the husband? And that's the way the Masham Paskins also. So in our case, if this guy had a hitch every day to work, someone took him every day to work, no problem. But if he had to stand over there in the street, in rain, in the sun, someone was baking or whatever, I mean, just you know, it's not easy. And there was storms and everything, and he came to work, but he did something for it. That he should be eligible to get the money, and that's why money is his. But if he didn't do anything and he has a hitch anyway, so then it goes to the boss. What? No, he didn't. I'm talking about he didn't get tired. He was not tired.
But then what did it take?
What he took by you know what it means to stand outside and waiting every day for a car to hitch back and forth, and it's raining and it's pouring. And it's, what? The same thing. If I walked and it was raining, if I walked and I did, I said like this: if I had somebody that taking me, I didn't do any effort, so then it belongs to the boss. But if I did an effort, so I gained it because of the effort.
You gotta call a cab, wait for a cab, this for a cab.
No, you don't have to wait for a cab. That's not effort. To call it.
Wait for a cab, wait for a cab.
But then he's using that money. How do you prove that he's doing an effort in this case?
I do. You could see in the case, if let's say he had to go every day.
What's the titzah from that effort?
What's a titzah?
Yeah.
Titzah. If he did an effort, then the money belongs to him.
If he did an effort,
If he didn't, what? Understand?
If he did an effort, it would be effective, I think.
He doesn't be affected. He did an effort. I can get things easy and I can get things not easy. Work hard for it.
It's not paying you.
It's not money. It's not money.
Yeah, that's what
It's not money. It's an effort. I did an effort. I went to work and I was standing every day and I was walking and then I saw a car and I stuck out my hand to pick me up. And then the guy went through and I went again and it's raining outside and it's summer and it's kind of cold. So then he said he did something for it. Yeah.
So the wife walking
To the market.
To the market. It doesn't matter if she's shopping or not shopping. She makes the effort to go out of her way to get
Yes,
it.
that's right. It's not easy.
The second question is, it doesn't matter how much is gained by spending the money. Like he's getting 500 shekels. It doesn't matter if it's 500 or 1,000.
That's not the point. It's not how much. No, I gave you an example. 500 shekel. It could be 1,000 shekel. Be it.
So if the wife is eating a meal and she leaves the potatoes, if she leaves the potatoes not because she's full, rather because she's making an effort, because she wants the potatoes later, is that called an effort?
Right. She's still starving. She's not full.
Right.
So then about her.
If it took you 5 minutes to take a tablet and 20 minutes to walk, that means you have to wake up 15 minutes earlier.
The guy gets up for davening 6 o'clock in the morning anyway. It's not the point. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
If the effort is greater, if the effort is less than the amount gained, if the effort would be like a 5-minute walk, and she gained like 100 shekels.
We're talking about effort. We're talking about effort. I'm not, okay, yeah.
Okay, I want to ask this question. I don't know if you guys can answer. If you go to a wedding, you eat the food at the wedding, and then
Wait.
and then after you want to take the food home,
Right.
can you do that?
I'll tell you something. It's a good question. Everybody knows, everyone that makes a wedding, he knows that people are going to eat. Okay? And he wants that people should eat. And he wants people should be happy and should be full and should enjoy the wedding. He doesn't care if he takes it home, puts it in his pocket, or whatever he does. He wants guys to be happy. If the guy is happy, says, I don't want to eat here, I'm going to put it in the pocket and take it home, there's no problem. You know the story they say on this Yerushalmi. You know, the Yerushalmis are a lot of, I don't want to say beggars, but there are a lot of, and this Yerushalmi comes to the wedding, and there was a smorgasbord. And he goes, there's a You know what the burakas is?
Yeah.
Burakas. So there was a burakas on the plate. And he takes the burakas and he puts it in his pocket. He takes another burakas, puts it in his pocket, takes it here and there. All those pockets are full of burakas. And then he feels, wow, it's hot like anything. It's burning. Something is. He looks, turns around, he sees the waiter spilling in sauce onto his pockets. He says, "What are you doing?" He says, "The boss of the wedding told me that anybody that takes burakas, I should give him some sauce." It's like, it's cold.
Does it matter if you're invited or not?
What?
If you're not invited,
If you're not invited, so you have a problem. You're not supposed to be there.
But they put out food. Like
or what if they've set up tables for people who aren't invited?
Okay, if you start fighting with people not invited, not invited.
Also, when towards your wife, now do you keep paying her monthly, or do you just give her like a lump sum here?
You work it out with her. Excuse me, what? Yeah? Yeah.
If they want to,
Whatever they take is okay.
they can take anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Shh. What? You have to be with Sameach, the Chosn, and the Kala. Okay? But you're with Sameach, but sometimes the Chosn and Kala, if you came to the wedding and he sees you and he's happy that you came, so you're Messiah Me'achim. No, I'm not talking about a Ganav coming in and just stealing. Yeah.
I asked the boss over here, a friend of mine, and he said that if you come in, eat from the buffet.
Which boss?
For the wedding hall of it.
Yeah.
He said if you're coming in and eating at the buffet, you're perfectly fine. And if you want to dance a bit, you can be more polite. But if you're getting a Coke or like wine or whatever from the table, then that's out of order.
Because you're taking away from other
exactly.
people. When the other people want to eat and you're taking it away.
Fine.
Oh. Yeah.
Why is it someone's not invited to food? Not that he doesn't want you not to come, he doesn't know him, man. Someone else. No. You think to me I'm not supposed to that dancing, but I'm someone that just sits on the side.
Let's get to the last case. There was this Jew. Let's call him again. Let's call him Yitzchak. The same Yitzchak. You know, this guy's a driver. He's everything. Yitzchak. He lived in an apartment building. He lived on the 4th floor, which is the top floor. And he goes to sleep with his wife, and he gets up in the morning, and he goes into the kitchen, and he sees my wallet was there last night. It's not there. Someone stole it. He goes to the closet. There was a tape. It's not there. There was a gunner. There was a thief here by night. She walks around the house to see if anything, someone broke in or not. He sees everything is perfect. The lock is there. Nobody changed the lock. Nobody touched the lock. Nobody broke the lock. He goes to the windows. Everything is okay. So he thought to himself, probably the problem is that this ganav, this thief, he made over a key. And he has a key of the house. So he goes to the locksmith and he gets a new lock. He puts a new lock onto the door. 3 days later, he gets up in the morning. His watch is missing. The video is missing. The television is missing. It's not there. So there was a gun here again. He goes again around the house and he sees everything is okay. There's no broken windows. Everything is locked. The door is locked. He changed the lock. I mean, what's going on? So he said, like this Jew is a smart Jew. So he said, I'm sure, if this Ganav came 2 times, and there are still things in the house that good stuff to take, he's going to come again. What did he do? In Israel, between every floor, there's like it's called a loft. When they hang up, the women hang up their clothes to dry, so it shouldn't run down to the neighbor. So there's between every floor and floor there's a platform, a small platform. You'll see it all the apartment buildings.
Bound to close, but you can't stand there.
What? You could
hang close, but you can't stand there.
you could stand there, but you don't stand there because it's not so. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Now he went and he lives on the 4th floor. Now this window, it's usually from the bathroom. When you hang, there's a wash machine and a dryer, and outside the window you hang up your clothes. So this window he never closed. Why? Because nobody in the world could climb up from 4 floors up to his house. So this window he never closed. Then he thought, could be this Ganav, this thief. There's a fire escape in the house, in the building. He probably went up with the fire escape, went on top of the roof, and he came down onto this platform, and then he walked into the house. What did he do? Where does this Ganav land? He landed on the ropes of the what? The clotheslines. So what did he do? He opened the nuts. He made it very, very, and he said, "This guy's going to come. I'm going to teach him a lesson." Sure enough, about a week later, middle of the night, he hears bang! Help me! This guy's crying and yelling. He goes to the window and says, "Hi." He sees the guy over there, the Ganav. This is the guy that came this is the 3rd time that he came. And the guy is yelling, "Take me to the hospital, I'm dying." He fell down onto the platform. I told you which way. There's the ropes, and then there's the platform, because the clothes shouldn't run, the wet clothes shouldn't run onto the next window, to the floor downstairs. So there's a platform. You'll go to the Shikonim here, you'll see it also. So he takes him to the hospital. The guy was broken, his head was bashed up, and his legs were broken. Don't ask. And then this Jew said to himself, Yitzchak, he said, "Did I do a sin? Did I do a vera? Maybe I shouldn't have done it. I did it purposely. I knew that it's going to be like this. I knew it was going to fall. I knew it was going to get hurt. And I did it deliberately. Did I do a sin? I didn't do a sin." Let's start out here.
Don't we assume that Ganav comes into your house is going to...
That if you know he's going to kill you.
I thought we assumed that...
Came to your house. We know exactly this guy didn't come to kill anybody. Because he wanted to kill, he could have killed before also. He came in to take good stuff. That's all. He was shopping. Excuse me. Hello? No, אני באמצע שיעור, עוד חצי שעה.
But meaning, if they had tried to catch him, he maybe would have killed him.
Could be yes, could be no, but it's not the case here.
Isn't that mission to someone, one of the genitals you have black in the capital?
Is what? That's what?
Pitch black in the house.
Yeah.
If it's pitch black in the house, he falls over something and hurts himself, you have to say.
No, there's not such thing. Not that I know of. Find it. Okay.
He might not know that you're awake at the time. He might come in and you'll be awake, and then you will be in a situation. You might come to it.
Could be second a chance. The Gemara says, Ganav. Even a Ganav, when he's trying to get into someone's house, he yells, "God help me." Even a Ganav, even a thief, says, "God help me." For his business. Yeah.
I think that he did an affair that's like putting something off before a blind person. Or you could say it's a beef, but that's a separate Indian because he knew he wasn't going to hurt him. So that's a totally different story. But
You have to come for the whole thing.
What?
You have to come for the whole thing. He knew it was,
He knew the guy's going to be bashed up. He didn't know that. He didn't think he's going to get killed. That's not the challenge.
He didn't know for sure the guy was going to come down.
He figured it out that the only way he could get into the house is through that window. He went up on the roof, on the fire escape. He went onto the roof. Came down from the roof he's on the fourth floor, on the highest floor. Went onto the ropes, and there he went into the house.
He didn't know he wasn't not going to get killed.
What?
He didn't know that he wasn't not going to get killed.
He didn't. No, he knew he's not going to get killed. That's not the question. There's a platform. There's a platform. Yeah. But who has to get? No, Ganav doesn't have to. You don't kill him. The chicken doesn't have misa. He has to pay kaifel. He has to pay penzabov chamisha. That's not the case. He doesn't get misa for that. Because if not, he would kill him. Well, most of the Jews would be killed. Anybody else? Yeah.
Since Meganav didn't come into his house in a regular way, since he did it in a strange way,
that's the only way you get in.
It's totally. Well, I mean, it's not like the guy tried to walk into the front door.
He couldn't walk in the front door. There was a lock there.
I'm saying that in this case, it's not the.
We say thank you to the guy. If you didn't come in, welcome him. What a piece of cake in the morning.
It's not a normal thing to walk through the window. So.
How does the guy get in? How does a thief get in? He has to do it. He shouldn't be a ganav.
It's not a normal.
Sure, it's not normal. It's a normal case. Every ganav goes through.
But it's not. I'm not talking. Please let me talk to the rabbi, please. He's speaking here. It appears to me that it's not a case where it's a thing that someone have to be didactic about, that my rope shouldn't be tied and not loose, that the government shouldn't.
But he wanted to catch him. He knew that if he's going to let him again, he's going to again take stuff.
So it's not this guy's fault that the guy was breaking into his house.
That's the question. But is he allowed to do such a thing that he should get hurt? Are you allowed to hurt somebody because of this? That's the question. One second, let's go. No?
The gunner himself should know that the ways of breaking would be risky. Like even if the guy never tied the ropes, something could go wrong with the ropes, and you should know that the gunner probably should have worked out before that any mistake in before. So what I'm saying is the guy, what he did, he was saying he untied the rope. So just say he never untied the ropes, he never figured out how the criminal would break in.
What do you mean?
The ropes came loose themselves.
No, he figured it out because the guy knows already. He knows the ropes. He was there already twice. He knew that it was stable. He stood on it. Something can happen. He's taking a chance. What has she done?
He should have made sure it was steady before he did the break.
Okay, my opinion, okay, it's a sin to, you're not allowed to break someone's legs, right? And so, even though you can catch the guy, you can't take matters into his own hands. You can't,
That's the question. The question is, should he call the police, and the police should be in the house when the ganav comes in, and the police should take care of him. The police should be downstairs. Or could he do things by himself without taking the authorities into the...
As long as you weren't injured,
What? No, he knew he was going to be injured. That's the question. He knew he was going to be injured, and he got injured.
I would say not to do that.
All right.
Yeah. He didn't really take things into his head. Like he didn't go up to this guy that's trying to steal from him and beat him or anything. I mean, he did it even a week before the guy came. He just
doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference how he did it. Doesn't make a difference. What does that make a difference? Doesn't make a difference how he did it. He deliberately did something that he knows Well, you could take a baseball bat and hit him over the head. The same thing is by opening the ropes. Yeah. What?
Why did you not close the window?
Why did I close the window? Because you wanted to catch him. Well, listen, you could close the windows. The guy won't come back again.
But indirectly, he's a fault of opening again.
That's the question. Yeah.
Ghana is nothing to do with sin. And the guy in the house, the guy in the house is preventing the Ghana from doing sin. So how can that be?
I could prevent him by going over to the window and going no. I don't have to open the rope for that. Prevent him. Tell him no. Don't come in.
Prevent him anyways. The last one is he was prevented.
You could prevent him in other ways. You could prevent him, but he prevent him in a way that he should get hurt. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Sure, he knew.
He knew he was going to cause. You said he was going to cause the guy, teach the guy lessons.
Right.
When he comes down, he's going to be flat and he's going to hurt himself.
Right.
The guy is chayiv.
Why is he chayiv? He took the authority in his hands.
Exactly. So that's not the way the law.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. What's the halacha? We'll see.
the way he did it in the story.
What? You should know. By the way, the halacha, what I'm going to tell you about, is not the way they in the court in the States or whatever it is. This is the way they. Okay, so let me tell you what's going on. There is a, there's the Gemarot, the Talmud. There's Bava Kama, Bava Metzia, Bava Basra. There's Kedushin, Gittin, Yevamis. That's the Masechtas, the big Masechtas. Then there are very small Masechtas. In the Gemara, you'll find it in the Gemara Sanhedrin, or you'll find it in the Gemara Avodah Zarah. Small Masechtas, Masechta Sofrim, Masechta Kala, Masechta Derech Eretz. Now, go ahead.
I've walked into Beit Nachum and they have these spikes around, even in the shul. That if a bird lands on it, it's knocking on the wife, it's going to prick it. That's not Tzar L'Chaim, it's preventing someone from pranking for.
Okay, wait. Okay, 1 second. 1 second, yeah.
What's the halacha if just wear and tear they break?
What breaks?
The ropes.
No.
If you can't handle it, they're a break. That's not the case. You have to.
That's a question.
No. Not that you specifically outside, but they broke by themselves.
Broke by himself or himself. That's the problem of the Ganav. That's his problem. Okay, so there's a Masechta called Masechta Derech Eretz. And over there is a story, if I'm not mistaken, it's Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Yeshua had his house was like a inn. Like a inn, you know what an inn is, not a hotel, a small, a small hostel that people used to go through to get into the city, and it was long days. So they used to stop in his house. He had a house. It was a high ceiling, and in the middle of the ceiling, between the ceiling and the floor, there was a attic. But not an attic, not a closed attic. I mean, it was a half. You know what I mean? Like you see in. It's a loft. I don't know how it's called. And he had over there a bed, and he had over there a table and a chair that a guest used to come. He used to put a ladder that this guy should climb up and go to sleep. Now, there are a lot of people that Ovrei Jvachim, people that go from one place to another place. There are a lot of Ganovim. So they come into our house, and what do? They steal things. In the middle of the night, they run away. They say, give us to eat something, and we'll sleep over, and then in the morning we'll leave. And in the middle of the night, they used to go steal. Rabbi Shua says, Kabdeyu v'chabdeyu. Kabdeyu means give him kavod, give him respect, v'chashdeyu, and don't trust him. A person always has to know, can never know who the guy is. So, what did he do? There was a ladder going up, and Rabbi Shua, after the guy went to sleep, he used to take away the ladder. And he said like this: if he's a Ganav, he's going to run away in the middle of the night, he's going to fall down. If he's not a Ganav, so he's going to, in the morning, he's going to put back the 5, 6 o'clock in the morning before the guy wakes up, I'll put back the ladder. and then he's going to walk down normal. So he says over there's a guy that came into his house. That's what it says in the Cheretz. Guy came to his house, and he asked him, "Can I sleep by you?" He said, "Sure." He put him upstairs. He put him up like on the second floor, and in the middle of the night, and Rabbi Shua took away the ladder. In the middle of the night, he hears boom. The guy fell down, and the guy is yelling at Rabbi Shua, "What did you do? What did you do?" Sure enough, the guy was a real ganef, and his pockets were full, and he was yelling at Rabbi Shua. Instead of saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it," he's yelling at Rabbi Shua. So the Gemara over there asks if he did right, it was right that Rabbi Shua did or not. And the Gemara says he did right. If a guy comes into your house and he steals, whoever it is, he does a damage, you're allowed to, I would say, prevent it by even if he get hurt. The same thing is in our case. In our case, what's the case? I came to my house and I took away I untied the ropes, and the guy fell. That's his problem. Okay? Have a good time.